For more than a century, it's been considered settled precedent that children born on American soil are citizens. But now, under President Trump, that idea has started to crack. The language in the 14th Amendment could seem pretty simple and clear. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. But on President Trump's first day back in office, he signed an executive order that would unravel birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants and some temporary foreign residents. The argument that President Trump is making hangs on a phrase, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. That has been pretty commonly understood as, are you in this country and are you subject to the laws of it? And if you are, then if you were born here, you're a citizen. The president has identified some groups of people as not being subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. The children of undocumented immigrants and the children of people who are here temporarily. That would be people potentially on work visas, student visas. Those are people who the president has argued should be excluded from this view of subject to the jurisdiction of, excluded from the protections of birthright citizenship. The Supreme Court has addressed the question of who is eligible for birthright citizenship before in the 1898 case of the United States versus Wong Kim Ark. That case involved a child of two Chinese immigrants who were living in San Francisco. In this case, it was questions around Chinese immigrants to the United States who could not become citizens themselves. Would their child be a citizen? And the answer was a resounding yes. The court says a child born in the United States of parents of Chinese descent who at the time of his birth are subjects of the Emperor of China becomes at the time of his birth a citizen of the United States by virtue of the first clause of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. And that's been a foundational case ever since. So far, the response of federal courts to President Trump's executive order has been resounding and swift. A judge in Maryland looked at the case, in Washington State, in Massachusetts, and each one of them put a pause on President Trump's executive order. They have looked back to the Wong Kim Ark case, and one judge even called the president's executive order blatantly unconstitutional. This week, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear argument on whether the nationwide pause on this policy is constitutional, or whether those federal judges extended beyond their powers when they blocked Trump's policy.